Duke and Nacho, you're watching the Mayday Limelight.
Welcome to the Mayday Limelight. I am Sharíck LaMay. We have...
I'm trying to hypnotize our viewers.
Hypnotizing.
What's up, everybody? I'm j.Pin. You know what it is.
You know what it is, and it's just been a great week since we last seen you guys.
No, it hasn't. It's horrible.
Really?
No, I'm joking.
You jokester.
I joke.
You know, life is good.
Life is good.
Everything good with you?
You know, I be working.
We all be working.
I be working,
right?
and I be hiking.
That's good.
I be hiking. I started a group of, there's like 17 of us. It started with just 3 of us, and now there's 17 of us, and every Sunday we go to Runyon Canyon.
Where is my invite?
Or the Clover City. You've been invited.
No.
You've been busy.
I will be there on a Sunday.
Okay.
Maybe this one I'll come check you out.
Come through.
That's
but yeah,
good.
we go, and it turned into a thing, and we're like, we all get along. It's a hike. Like, we're going to turn it into kind of like an affirmation type of weekend thing, you know. And I was like, you know what? I feel like more people should do that. Get a group of people that just want to do something fun, positive, and whatever it may be. Take a jog around your block or whatever. But like, I think a lot of people don't do enough of that.
Right.
You know, something that doesn't involve like going to the club or doing this. Like, no, go do something fun and active with your friends.
And be social and be healthy.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we do. We're social, we laugh, we kiki, all of that.
And then it calms your
mental. It's a great way to just kind of end your weekend. For us, that's kind of how we look at it. Yeah.
I love it. Well, speaking of ending, we're almost to the end of the year. Can you believe it?
I don't want to believe it. I still got a lot to finish this year, but I mean, hey, you know, I'm cool with it. Let's do it.
I know 2018 has been well, and stay tuned to the Mayday Limelight because we're gonna have some special end of the year episodes coming
We
up.
are.
I'm
We've got
excited.
some really exciting things working, and I can't wait to throw that at y'all.
And 2019 is gonna go with a bang, right?
Oh yes,
definitely.
Oh, yes.
Well, speaking of a bang, I was just so engulfed in my social media this weekend, which I try not to do, with Miss Beyonce Knowles Carter.
Ooh, at the Global Citizens Festival.
Yes, so this Global Citizens Festival, you guys, it has just been, it just took over the net. Just break the internet, why don't you, again,
that
Beyonce.
Yellow bodysuit
her entire wardrobe for the whole thing. So from my understanding, her wardrobe was supposed to signify African royalty or African spirituality and really play into that. It was in South Africa, so that was really interesting. One of the designers of it was Mary, how do you pronounce that name?
Mary Katransu? I'm pretty sure.
She's really dope, and she also designs for Victoria's Secret as well. So it's kind of like angelic, which kind of fits with the theme. So that was really, really beautiful. Make sure you guys check that out. But I was really surprised with Global Citizen as a whole because I think not a lot of people know what it is.
I didn't know about it till like maybe this
a couple
of weeks
they
ago.
Had the Janet perform. I say Janet, but we know other people perform, but we like Janet. Marcus was there. Shout out to Marcus.
Yes, I was.
And he's got his life, right?
I did.
But the Global Citizen, I think it's a cause. And I think we fail to realize when we have these big concerts and everything that these are actual causes that people are implementing and really wanting to gain the fanfare for. So it's kind of I don't know if it's a double-edged sword, but I did my research, you guys. Global Citizen is an amazing company that's basically about the world peace and world affirmations as far as health and making sure people get water and food and resources and ending poverty. Is one of the big things. So hopefully they attain their goal. But if you guys want, you can definitely go onto their website and donate and take a look around. You know, I think it's important to do that.
Definitely.
Don't just watch Beyonce. Do it for the cause.
We got you, B, but like, you know, let's not forget the main purpose.
The main purpose of it. But I mean, she slayed with the yellow Versace outfit. It was
like, I saw that all through my timeline Sunday. I was like, all right,
so
y'all.
Versace just made news this whole weekend because they also had their fashion show.
Yes.
And did you see anybody that surprised you? Tiana Taylor came through and killed it. It was just a really dope weekend for fashion, so I'm excited about all of it. But speaking of fashion, our guest today,
Duke Ihenacho. Ihenacho. Is he Nigerian? He's Nigerian, right?
He is Nigerian American, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he has his clothing line that he's come out with. He's been working on for a little while. Former NFL star, amazing person, very positive, dropped some gems as he always does. But we're going to talk to him about the transition from athletics to the fashion world. And that's really curious.
It's a unique thing because it's like, you know, people say stay in your lane and he's an athlete. And I think, I'm sure he'll touch on that. But like, I think people like to pigeonhole athletes to just that. Like they're not capable of other things. I mean, yeah, you can play sports. Anybody, you know, a lot of people can play sports, but who's to say that you can't achieve or do other things? And I think that the concept itself kind of translates to all kinds of people. I know, even for us, especially creatives, you know, I think we look for multiple outlets, you know, in the creative fields. And who's to say that you can't do more than one thing? Right,
and it's all about self-expression. So we're not all one thing. We are multifaceted. And so I think his story is extremely interesting. And he has a great outlook on life. And I know myself, I call myself a slash this, slash that. I'm a host slash. You could be a slash. Just make that slash.
I think I'm too many slashes. But if I wasn't, it wouldn't work out for me. Like, I couldn't just be one thing.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's important to be able to still find that focus.
Absolutely.
And hone in on that focus. And you never know. I read something recently where they said even just finding that one thing and really going in on that one thing may open other doors for your other outlets.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But we're going to talk to Duke and you gonna see it.
Trust. Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last.
All right, guys. So now we have former NFL player, now fashion designer, and all-around dope man. We got Duke Ihenacho.
Yay!
Hey, what's
everybody
up, Duke?
Clap it up.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Limelight set. How are you doing? Happy holidays.
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hope all is well, y'all.
All is good.
All is good. We're glad to have you here. Yes. We definitely want to, get into some things, talk to some things.
You kind of get a little bit in your
business. You're the creator, designer for your clothing line called Law 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about that. Where does that name come from?
Law 17, yeah.
Man, okay. It's interesting. It's a long story of how I got to the name, but the name is an acronym. Law is an acronym, Lost Art of War. And The Art of War is a book written by Sun Tzu. And in the book, he talks about a lot of things that I personally agree with. And some of his approaches to warfare are things that you can take and implement into, everyday life. Over time, a lot of his concept and his methods have been taken and adapted into, different military commands and different military regimes. And his teachings were intended for warfare, but obviously, we've taken a lot of things that he taught and it's applicable to life.
Right.
Business and politics and just everyday life. And I come from a sports background,
right?
So analogies and different stories and all those things are huge. So a lot of things he talks about is just things I believe in.
That's dope. But that's interesting. You already said like day to day. So we're kind of curious as far as your day to day life, the transition from an athlete to now a fashion designer.
Right.
Was that very different? Did you wake up later in the day and like I could just go be creative or?
Nah. Actually, I think the transition for me has been pretty smooth.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I've had my difficult times and I've hit the learning curve and it's a complete different world and I've had to start from the beginning and just relearn everything. But a lot of things just translated, like just my discipline, getting up in the morning, being able to will myself to just work hard.
Yeah,
those things,
that's key.
Those things kind of carry over from field to field.
Right.
And I think the hardest thing was just kind of learning, just getting in the field and just not having direction and just searching for, a way to go. Because I played football, I've been this athlete all my life. I've been in this structure and, I had to work on someone else's time and getting up early and, people have been telling me, be here at this time, but not only being an entrepreneur, but having to set your own schedule, having to come up with schedules for you and other people. That's a challenge.
That's not easy at all.
But and it's been a slow process. You know, I've been at it for a year now, and I'm still learning. But it's much easier today than it was a year ago.
Good.
Did you get any criticism or judgment from any of your counterparts in the sports world jumping into fashion?
No, not in the sports world. Criticism more so came from people that weren't in the sports world.
Oh yeah,
People in fashion.
Not even people in fashion, just people that kind of just look at people look at athletes as these people that we're supposed to be athletes forever.
Right.
And we should be all about the sport, and if we're anything less than like a superstar or we're in the sport for a long time, then it makes it seem like, haha, you failed at it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that criticize athletes for spending 6 years, 7 years in the NFL or NBA and then not doing it anymore and say, haha, you didn't make it to 10 years, you know, things like that. Right. So I've got a lot of criticism. I had it early on, you know, not now, because, you know, people get to see something tangible and they get to see visions turn into reality now. So it's more like, oh, he's actually doing something, you know? So but at first, it's different. Right. And it takes people a while to get warmed up to you. But all my sports counterparts, they were cool. It was like, yeah, that fits you. You know, that's kind of you. I knew it was more like, yo, I knew you was gonna do something with fashion.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I mean, you see now, especially watching the games and before the games, you see the athletes come to the stadiums, and now it's like a runway show. You know what I mean? So I'm used to seeing it, but I can definitely see people who aren't in the field don't understand how it translates. So that's really interesting that people that have nothing to do with either industry are the naysayers.
Yeah, I mean, it's tight because as time continues to go on and as we continue to evolve, especially with social media, you know, more and more athletes are becoming conscious of their image, and becoming fashion forward, and you know,
influential,
super influential, and then they go into the stadiums and they know that, you know, guys are taking pictures of them going into this like a runway, you know, so people are always not conscious of how they're looking, and people are taking it more serious, you know what I mean? So it's kind of setting them up for life after football.
Right.
You know,
because y'all be fresh. Y'all be fresh. I'm
not
like,
everybody.
You got athletes, not everybody. If you got the right stylist, I mean, I know that there's quite a few prominent stylists that work with athletes.
Yeah,
I work
for
with
sure.
a few myself, you know,
Yeah.
and it's interesting to see how they develop and create an image for that person, you know, to, you know, where you've got NFL and NBA players that are getting invited to sit front row at different fashion shows around the world. Like that's something to say, like, you know, there's such a crossover now. I think that's a really dope thing.
Right. No, that's tight. What stylist do you know? What are some like? I
mean, I used to represent one.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Okay, cool.
But yeah,
we have a whole little network, you guys.
Okay.
But
I'll put you on.
as far as, you know, you said it's been somewhat tough. You've been doing it for a year. What do you think has been the toughest lesson that you've had to learn?
The toughest lesson? Well, there's a few. I think one of my biggest problems is I'm someone that I feel like I'm so talented and just so multifaceted that I try to do everything myself, and that can be a disadvantage, or you know, it just can put me in a lot of you know, danger. Sometimes it's hard for me to ask for help, and I'm like, you know what, I don't want to burden anyone. You know, everybody's doing their own thing, and this is what I signed up for, so let me just do it myself. And I end up like, you know, spreading myself thin. You know, and it takes a lot of my attention away from other things. I can't focus. Then I have like my brain just freezes, you know, and I get stuck in. But I've dealt with that. I think it's a little easier now. Because
how did you get out of that? What were some of the, you just had to learn?
You just had to learn. You just had to learn and
delegation.
Just finish. You know, yeah, exactly. But it takes time though, because when you're first doing it, it's hard getting people to believe in your vision.
That's very true.
You know, and you're not making any money, so I can't just. If the business is not making any money, I can't pay someone. You know, so it's hard to get. So you really got to just get people that, you know, kind of want to grow with you, and believe in you. And then over time, you know, as you continue to, you get one person, and then you and that person, you get another person, and then you guys put out a line, and now people, regardless of it's tight or trash, it's something. Right. So now people know, oh, you're serious, and
you accomplished something.
Yeah, you did something. It's something somebody can be like, yo, you're a designer.
Right.
And okay, here's where I can help, and here, yo, bring me on board. Right. So that was tough. Just being an entrepreneur for the first time in my life, being able to just control my whole life.
And be self-sufficient.
That was tough.
Yeah.
You know, that's tough because it's just something that's unfamiliar. You know, I love it, but it was just something that was unfamiliar. So just having to like manage your time and just be alone a lot, you know, or not go out, or you know, that was huge. So,
We
you
know
know,
all
know
about
about
that
stuff,
on our
you
show.
gotta, you gotta know. It's just like it takes a
Yeah.
lot, because like you can go to sleep and wake up and nothing happened.
Right.
You know, and no one's gonna say, you need help, or you know, or you're good. It's
You just gotta go get
you
it.
gotta go. So
Yeah.
there's a bunch of challenges just going downtown and looking for manufacturers.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah, because
That's
it's
what's
not
up.
it's not like something you can just Google.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and figure it out. You know, so there's a lot of word of mouth, and you know, people got to bring you in, and then you know, people gonna take advantage of you because you're a new face. And those things happen. So it's all
And that
good.
comes with the territory.
That comes with the territory. You got to pay your dues.
Well, tell everybody where they can find you. Law 17, your Instagram, all of your social.
You can find my personal at Duke. It's real simple, DUKE. Law 17 brand, LAW17 BRAND.
Verified.
That part. Don't have Twitter yet, but we're still working on that. Facebook, Law 17 brand, the same as my IG, and shoplaw17.com.
All right.
Bam.
Well, thank you guys, and thank you to Duke for coming in and joining us and giving us some gems. There's lots of gems were dropped
Yeah,
today.
you know.
Basically, get on your hustle, get on your grind. Don't listen to the naysayers.
Manage your schedule.
Manage your schedule.
And find people that support you.
Absolutely.
Find
That
people
was
to-
good. That was
Yeah.
some really
Yeah.
good gems. Well, all right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and sign out. Thank you for watching the Mayday Limelight. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Go to our podcast on Apple. Thank you to Opulent Studios and our director and our audience. Thank you, guys.